Waterhouse, they've conceded 3 goals in their last 6 contests while scoring 13 times. And this starting lineup looked very familiar from what we have seen in the last couple of games in the semis, Dwight Jeremiah.
Yeah, they've given them the result that they've wanted, so they've gone on change. Waterhouse, slick in going forward, really had a good display in the semi-finals, and they continue to play in their 4-3-3 system. Last time we saw early in the game, Mount Pleasant did give them a lot of trouble, but Bradford and Fletcher, though their leading goal scorer, did a lot of work in tracking back to shut those passing lanes wide, and they'll have to do some work here today. And Thomas as well expected to be a main antagonist for them today.
Cavalier coming into this battle with a steeliness we don't often associate with the young. They haven't conceded a goal in their last 4 games, Dwight.
Yeah, over 360 minutes since they've conceded a goal, and the one change we see to the side this then, Ronaldo Webster. We haven't seen him since his winning goal against Portmore. He's back today. We'll see how he plays coming off an ankle injury, but he's needed for finals here, and the big guns in terms of himself, Thomas and Atkinson.
Hello and welcome to the UEJFF Captain Horsborough Centre of Excellence as we prepare for the final of the Jamaica Premier League, powered by Digital. It's Waterhouse against Cavalier. It's quite interesting to see this Cavalier setup and how they have impressed and defied the odds this season.
Yeah, to see them, they've often known for their attacking play as we get on the way.
We're on the way here for the Jamaica Premier League final here at the Centre of Excellence of the UE Mona campus. And it's Cavalier in the white and black, hoping to make a start. The question is, will the youngsters be overawed by the occasion? I suspect that we'll have the answer in the opening minutes of this one. Cavalier in the attacking third through Atkinson, trying to spread it out wide from early. Nikashe Murray collects in that number 6 position along with Doxley. They have to be careful in the middle of the park. Waterhouse, of course, they are very dangerous. Rafiq Thomas, of course, the veteran in the squad, leading the line for Waterhouse. He's hoping to make an impact. Just the 1 goal to his name for the number 37 for Waterhouse. It's Cavalier in the meantime trying to be patient in their build-up, and they're not afraid to just calm things down, which is something that we don't really associate with the younger teams in the league. Here they come. Ball played inside the area. They're looking for Shanil Thomas, who has been instrumental for them this season with 4 goals to his name. Didn't quite reach him. There's the aforementioned Rafiq Thomas looking for some company, slowing down the pace just a bit. Ramon Howell to Kimani Campbell now. Well, that was Bradford rather. Now it's with Denardo Thomas. Binns. Shot was blocked.
And we saw in that play with the shot from Binns blocked, and that was blocked by Atkinson, and only Thomas was a feel for Cavalier, and pretty much how they have set up over their last 4 games, haven't conceded. The downside for them is that they've only scored 3 goals in that 360 odd minutes that they haven't conceded, but it has brought them to the finals, and they will not depart from it at this stage.
Thomas under pressure, finding Rohan Beadle, who has been converted to a right back after making his name as a holding midfielder at the schoolboy football level. There are so many players in the middle of the park for Waterhouse. It was difficult for Rohan Beadle to make a name in the middle of the park. There's Marcel Fuzzy Gale. He's in his 2nd final, having lost with Waterhouse last time out.
Yeah, they say three's a charm, Daniel. You said we'll see if that's the case for them today. And you wonder if that's added pressure onto these players, knowing that this is the third time that they have made it in succession and would want to bring it over the line.
He was actually assistant to Anthony Patrick as well back in the 2013-2014 season. Waterhouse lost to Montego Bay United, so if he hasn't been directly in charge, he would have been assistant. So you'd want to think that hopefully it's third time lucky for him as well, personally speaking, as well as for the club for the third successive season.
The good thing that he has been a part of teams and systems that have gone all the way in terms of making it to the finals just to get over the line. We've seen that a lot too in international football. At one stage, Jurgen Klopp was known as the coach that loses final, but he's gone over the line. We've seen Rudolph Speed here, and give him some credit, Donald, in his last few games has really showed his tactical acumen and really set this team up to be a very difficult team to play against.
Both managers would have lost their mothers this year, as well as Cavalier coming forward through Dwayne Atkinson, who let fly on that occasion. Not the best of connections. It just went trickling through to Zemoy Nash. Thomas with a turn, headed out by Doxley. We had the sunlight for a few minutes, but I suspect that the players prefer these conditions. I mean, it's warm, but it's not blazing hot as we're used to. So much so you can almost call it cool conditions based on what we have accepted as the norm here in Kingston.
And I think it makes well for Harbour's well for a good footballing match here. We hopefully will not see it being punctuated with stoppages for players to wet their boots and be rehydrated. So all things falling into place. All the stars are looking to align themselves for one of these teams today.
Ramon Howell trying to play to Bradford. The ball was red. Now Atkinson sends it out wide. Ming is on the charge. Cavalier coming up in numbers here. Played inside, trying to get it back to Ming. And Ming is offside. Almost worked for Cavalier on that occasion.
Yeah, and that's what Waterhouse will have to be mindful of. Cavalier, they set up deep. They do have a lot of players behind the ball, but they break at lightning speed. And we saw that in that semi-final matchup where they broke so quickly against Tivoli, and Anderson was able to slot home. So quick it was that he was able to take 2 or 3 touches to finish that goal.
Both these teams have met on some 23 occasions, but only twice have the contests ended 0-0 as this shot is taken, and no problems there for Jadine White, who just easily plucked it out of the air. The young keeper, custodian for Cavalier, natural born leader as well, White. Topi at the back. You have to be impressed with this Cavalier team and how they line up defensively. There's Topi again, all 6'8" of him. King with a loose touch, but he manages to get away. He's such a cool, calm customer. The ball over the top wasn't read by Ronaldo Webster, who is back in the starting lineup. Cavalier would be very pleased with that. We haven't seen him for the last 3 or so games.
Yeah, he hasn't been in since his winning goal against Portmore. He's been out for about 3 or 4 games, as you'd say, but with an ankle injury, but apparently fit enough to start today, and they would hope enough to last the 90 minutes or more if required.
They really took care of him. So many times that he was on the bench and you'd want his guile and speed to be on the park, and they held that ace close to their chest, and they have kept him for this final.
Yeah, they pretty much wrapped him in cotton and try and get him ready, and it's good from Rudolph Speed as the coach. He knew he was in some real finals, you pretty much would call it, because he had to win the games to get in, 2 games to get into the top 6, and then to win those 2 semi-finals games. Did that without Webster and trusted charge, and they have come up trumps for him. So much so that in a game he even employed Kemoy Simpson as a attacking midfielder. So tactically he has gotten most things right.
Has a talented bunch of players to work with, though, I must admit.
You're right, you're very much right. But they say talent alone don't get you titles.
That is true.
But they have shown some good resilience in recent times. As I said, 360 at minutes without conceding.
Webster clipped on his ankle.
And
He appears to be okay. The yellow card is shown to Damian Binns. Pretty early in the piece, so he has to be careful from where he's playing. In the middle of the park for Waterhouse. There we see the challenge again. Very deliberate, cynical even.
Yeah, Webster was just too quick for him. I just touched it, towed it away from Binns. And Binns had to commit. He felt it was high up the field. He could have trusted the players behind him to deal with it. But he knows how a dangerous player Webster is.
So free kick to Cavalier. Just inside their own half. Ball dinked long, looking for Ming. And it's a goal kick to Waterhouse after all of that.
Yeah, I heard you said, Donald, only twice these 2 teams have ended goalless. And I'm hoping for us, for our sake, there's no commentator's curse on this one.
Beadle trying to make a run through the middle. Sends it out wide. The ball is a little bit too lightweight for Donata Thomas. Beadle will take the throw himself. Donata Thomas. Thomas going on a run. Sends it out wide. And it didn't reach Kimani Campbell. Now it goes the other way. Should have been a better ball there from Ming. But it's come through to Webster, who is again clipped. Play continues. Atkinson thinking of the shot. Sends it back to Webster, who switches the play. Gadale Irving with a little space to work with. Has 3 to aim for inside the box. And a reflexive save. Atkinson there trying to poke it home and can't. And Waterhouse will come away. They're knocking. Cavalier, the first real opportunity in this final.
I was about to say they don't look fazed by this occasion. These youngsters, they're really up for it. And they're giving as much as they're getting rather. And Nash there was really, he had to be alert. All the reflex that he possessed there was needed.
Ball played through the middle, delightful stuff. Waterhouse on the charge. It's with Andre Fletcher, who takes a shot. It's wide of the mark. Dragged that one wide. And it's a goal kick to Cavalier and Jadine White.
Catching our breaths here, Donald, and it's good. So often you see these games pretty much cagey. Good ball out there from Webster. And once he sent it wide to Irvin, it was a wicked ball into the box. And just cleared off the line there by Ming, and Webster looking to keep it alive. And Atkinson just couldn't get his shot away, was always falling away.
How did that miss Shanil Thomas initially? That's a big question.
Yeah, just didn't time his approach to it.
Lovely ball over the top. Pulls it across. White making the initial save and holds on to it. That was a good run from Bradford from out of the middle of the park. And White was really sharp on that occasion.
Yes, as I was saying, so often you see finals and they're cagey, and I was anticipating that this one might be. But the way these 2 teams have started, it's like 2 boxers in a ring, and not skipping around, Donald. They're just trading blows.
They have played in a couple of crackers, actually, these 2 teams. In the 2015 season, they actually played out a 4-4 draw. An extraordinary 6 goals were scored in the first 39 minutes of that one.
But even if you come as recent as this season, their meeting was 2-2. So there's 4 goals in there. But they've looked so different as the season progressed, to be more measured and defensive. But no, not this evening.
Webster couldn't work out with Ming on that occasion, and so it goes the other way. Ball over the top. King comes across, and There's not a lot Bradford could have done with that one once he saw King coming. Thomas couldn't quite get a grasp on that ball through the middle. Now here is Thomas. Again, he goes on one of those runs. Ricochet Murray was in his wake just now. Kimani Campbell to deliver. And deliver he does inside the area, handled by Giovanni Leng. Atkinson picks it up, sees Ronaldo Webster, who will do well to keep it in play. He does well to get the throw.
Yeah, always difficult with the ball coming over the shoulder to really bring it under your spell. And as you said, he did very well there. And player down for Cavalier, giving everyone inside this ground a breather here, because this game is starting at a lightning pace. And I say long may it continue.
Spoke about that 4-4 draw in the 2015 season. Kenwar Howell, the brother of Ramon Howell, who is starting here for Waterhouse, he actually scored a hat-trick for Waterhouse. Chevon Marsh scored twice for Cavalier in that contest. And of course, as you mentioned earlier this season, they played to a 2-2 draw. And there were a couple of braces. One for Dwayne Atkinson, another for Damian Binns.
Yeah, Binns had to get a late penalty in the 85th minute. He scored that penalty to bring them back into it. It was Dwayne who scored first, and Binns equalized. Dwayne again, Atkinson that is, and then Binns came back. But I was thinking before the game that based on the team's approach since that time, it was that time that I felt it was a turning point for Cavalier when they went into this more measured approach. And that has served them well, and I felt, that is what they're doing today. They're pretty much doing that without the ball getting a lot of players behind it, but they have so much pace in their team, Donald, and quality that they break so well on the counter.
Cavalier with a lot of the possession so far in the first 15 minutes of this one.
And you recognize Tivoli not deciding to press too high, knowing they don't want to be stretched so much. Waterhouse, sorry, to go too high. So just Rafiq Thomas there, holding a half press just above the center circle to ensure that they don't give up too much space behind them. As we see a corner kick here for Cavalier.
Yeah, taking their time about it. Waterhouse did have a stretch of 8 unbeaten games against Cavalier from the 2013-2014 season to the end of the 2015-2016 season, and in that unbeaten run they actually won 4 consecutive games. So it's a battle that at one stage was controlled by Waterhouse, but since then Cavalier, they've come into their own and they're on a more equal footing, and in this game they are trying to press the advantage. That's a wonderful delivery. And it's fouled the back of the net. Well, it looks as if Jamoy Topi was the one who got that touch. And what a time to get that goal. His first this season in the JPL final.
Yeah, it was Nash there that you felt couldn't get out. There was a crowd just sitting right on top of him, and the ball was delivered just into the mix there. And Nash, he went forward. He has to take responsibility there as your goalkeeper right in your 6-yard area. Have to get a touch onto that, and once he didn't, and Topi, with all that height, I don't think he had to leave the ground to head that one into the goal, Donald. And this is what we've seen from Tivoli. I was asked earlier, what's the weakness for these teams? And they give up chances. Tivoli, we saw it early against Mount Pleasant in the second leg of the semi-final, giving up a goal early. But the good thing for them is that it's early and they trust their attacking powers.
The tallest player on the park nodding home on that occasion. Here's Webster. Keep in play. And he's tripped up there. Free kick to Cavalier. O'Shea Nation, the referee, right on the spot. And he's going to need some attention from off the bench. Ronaldo Webster. And ooh, it's a red. Is that a red card that was shown?
Yes, Finlayson.
Nikolai
He
Finlayson.
got a yellow card initially, but said something to referee Nation, and then you gesticulated to flash him off. He's an experienced player. He should know better. You get to a point where you get that yellow card, you just back off as a player because there's so much riding on it. And if it was hard for Waterhouse, it just got more difficult for them.
Let's take a look at exactly what happened here. There's the challenge that came in. He landed awkwardly on his ankle there, did Finlayson, and he stayed on his ankle. Then he said something to the referee. Got the yellow card initially. Would love to see what happened afterwards, though.
Hopefully we'll see it in this one. But he did say something to him and tend to wave his hand in the direction of the referee. He's quite firm with it.
And then he said something else. The referee told him to go. And then I didn't see a second yellow shown though.
No, didn't come up with a second yellow. It's a straight red. Binns was blocking that view there, but initially when I saw it, he seemed to have said something to referee Nation once he brandished the yellow card.
We're going to examine that a little bit more, but Waterhouse down to 10 players, and goodness me, aren't they under the cosh now? The delivering side played out of the box. It's so unfortunate for Nikolai Finlayson, it really is, because he's looking for his first Premier League title. Finlayson, he's been involved in the finals at Waterhouse. They have lost, including also as well in 2014. He's partnered at the back with the likes of O'Neill Thomas and Sean Laws and Keneal Moody. He's wearing the captain's armband, and for him to have been dismissed from the final like that, that's absolutely disappointing. And I'm sure Marcel Gale would be gutted because of that.
Also unacceptable too. I'm pretty sure he will not hear the end of it from his coach and his teammate. He would have let them down. But he said he was a part of it. Maybe the bright side, they'll look of it if they can come back. Maybe he's the jinx that have kept him out of it now, but he's such a good player and a leader for them that they would need him here. It's already difficult for Waterhouse. They're down a goal. And we know how stubborn this Cavalier team has been in recent games. Against Tivoli, they took the lead in the first leg and they didn't give it up. A very disciplined and dogged performance in the second leg of the semi-final that ended goalless. And at this point it's favouring them, and it falls right into their game plan, Donald. The fact that they are up a goal, that was the first part of it, and Webster, he has been shown a yellow card as well. So referee Nation just trying to keep a handle on the game, and he's using what he has to do so.
In the meantime, the reshuffle, obviously no one came from off the bench. Damien Binns is now playing at the back, and poor old Marcel Gale, he's usually not flustered, to be honest. He's usually very calm and composed, but surely what has happened has hit him for 6. You would never have expected that from your skipper.
No, he was let down by the goalkeeper first. Nash there, he's on the floor. Just some hamstring issues there, getting the magic spray on it. But he would have been at fault on the goal for Cavalier. But as you said, Marcel Gale, he as an experienced coach would have some plan for this. I'm pretty sure we do this a lot as coaches in training. We play with 10 players at times to get teams used to be able to deal with it in competitive games, and they're going to have to do it well today, Waterhouse, if they're going to have to get back in it. It's early still, Donald, and they do have the ability to score. They have good attacking play.
Well, they really have to dig themselves out of this one. They really do. Of course, it's the official water break that's been taken. The Cavalier, look at the position they are in. A man up, a goal up.
Yeah, a tough position for them, for Waterhouse to be up against. But they would have It's not the first time this season that they have had a player shown the red card. Stephen Williams against Arnett Gardens would have been shown the red card this season, and they did score in the 90-plus minute. It was Denada Thomas who scored for them to get a point from that game, albeit though that Arnett Gardens would have lost a player as well in the 79 minutes, which was O'Shane Roberts. But they will feel like they have the ability, Waterhouse, to come back into this one. So Waterhouse looking in discipline before that red card. There's 2 infringements that committed earlier that were worthy of yellow cards. And then the red card shown. But you don't want that from your skipper.
Too far in front of Kyle Ming on that occasion. Goal kick to Waterhouse.
What must they be thinking now, Waterhouse? The fact that this is their third and it's not going well at all.
That's an understatement.
Still have to give some bright side to them, Donald. Can't have it seem to be all doom and gloom for them. But they're going to have to dig deep.
Cavalier, of course, looking for their first crown since the 1980-1981 season when they got the better of Thunderbolts FC. It's incredible to think that that was a generation ago. The mind games would have begun from the semi-finals or at the end of the semi-final when Woodall Speed actually said on air that he loves playing against Waterhouse.
Yeah, well, we can see why. And Waterhouse, having heard that, wonder if they overthink the situation.
Yeah, they almost get the feeling that they went in aggressively here. But something needs to change.
In true Donald, a coach myself, I really love to my senior teams. I mean, average age 17, Holland United, and I enjoy that. But what we find a lot of opponent when you come up against youngsters, they feel the best way to deal with them is to rough them up, as you say. It could be a situation where Waterhouse feel we're going to go at them hard here.
Ball played over the top, looking for Atkinson, who gets there. Has Webster for company. Trying to get back on his feet, but the foul was committed by Ronaldo Webster. Free kick to Waterhouse. How should Cavalier approach this though? I mean, they are a man up. Should they continue to press? Well, that's exactly what they're doing now. Let's see if them outnumbering them will work. It's a wonderful ball to Atkinson, who couldn't quite get a proper connection on it, but he was offside. The flag is up over on the far side.
Beadle was always doing a very good recovery run and just intercepted at the right time. You felt he would not have seen the flag going up. Yeah, he was offside.
Indeed he was.
Beadle, still very good challenge there from him.
What else? They haven't quite settled as yet. They have some work to do. You see, just the 42% possession. What else they do have?
I think at this stage they will expect that it's what they do with the possession that will matter here now.
Indeed. Thomas sends it out wide. Too far wide for Shaquille Bradford.
Yeah, Bradford himself and Fletcher here really in the running for the Golden Boot. Andre Fletcher, that is. Jordan Fletcher played earlier in the third and fourth playoff. Didn't really didn't add to his tally. And as such, still a three-way tie.
Of course, Shaquille Bradford hails from Camperdown. Would have played with Giovanni Leng for a couple of years as Waterhouse pressed forward through Fletcher. Deflected effort, still a chance. Bradford twisting, turning, getting the shot off. And Leng is back there battling him. And good hustle there from Bradford to win the throw. They would have played together, I was mentioning before, for Camperdown, as well as Topi. As we take a look at the replay here, I think Rafiq Thomas was the one who provided the block on the initial effort. And now 3 players are down and they will require some attention from off the bench. There's a head collision somewhere.
When you talk about earlier, Donald, you did ask the questions. We'll look at what took place here, yeah. Shoulder and head. But once the head is involved, then the referee is obliged to stop the play. But you're asking about how Cavalier will approach it. They were pressing at the moment because they were in that zone at the time and didn't want to just retreat. I think it's still the way that they will go about playing, the way they came into the game, to have numbers behind it. The interesting thing is how this man will ask his team to play Marcel Gale. Pretty sure we've seen already here where he just have them with a half press before he lost the one player. It's going to have to be on the counter for him as well. And so often we've seen players going down to 10 men. They have found a resolve. They play as if they're playing for, each player plays as if they're playing for that player that is off the field. See Ming here. He has come out the worst. Hopefully he'll be able to continue. We suspect he will be. But Waterhouse will be mindful. They cannot commit too much forward because they're man advantage with Cavalier, and plus they're very good Cavalier on the counter. The Webster has been at the heart of what has taken place.
Waterhouse will try and be as compact as possible, it seems, with a man disadvantage. Cavalier, they have all the time in the world. Now they begin to press through Thomas. Leng has it back. Not the best ball forward. Beadle intercepts and was fouled by Chanel Thomas. Referee says play on. Donata Thomas. Kimani Campbell forced to go back. Binns, who has been forced to go back from the middle of the park as one of the 2 centre backs. Beadle first time to Bradford. Couldn't quite get it under his spell, the youngster.
Do like this youngster Bradford. Doesn't need an invitation to shoot when he's in and around goal.
Before this game, Cavalier, 4 games without conceding, you know. It's difficult to break them down.
As I've said before, to back that up, to make it, to emphasize it even more. You say 4 games, you put it into minutes. It's going a long time now. It's 360 plus. We're now in the 390 odd minutes since they last conceded. Closing in on the 400-minute mark.
Murray. Topi, the goal scorer. Doxley. Ming, who has been on a wild goose chase for most of the afternoon. Kyle Ming, he would want better service.
I put it a different way. He's a willing runner. So
That too. Former schoolmates back at it again. Bradford and Leng. Oh, nice pickup by Doxley. Wonderful ball now to Irving. 3 to aim for. He'll get the corner.
yeah, for a moment there I felt Cavalier just got themselves stretched a bit, and Waterhouse just couldn't make a good pass to really go on the counter. And once Cavalier recovered the possession, the wide areas of where Cavalier are very dangerous. You talk about willing runners, and Ming on this occasion again looking to put across. We saw it earlier. We got across into the box that Thomas couldn't get onto the end of it. And we saw the first goal, or the goal in this game did come from a corner kick. Nash will be looking to make amends here.
Well, Tope is back up again. Corner kick to be taken by Atkinson. It's another good delivery. It's Tope at the end of it, but it was a little bit too high, even for him. And it goes behind for a goal kick.
That tells you how high it was, Donald. But he's always going to be a threat in the opposition penalty box for set pieces. It's hard to miss him. And it's hard to defend against him as well.
Cavalier looking easy at the back for the moment. Inviting Waterhouse to come and press. They're not doing so at the moment. Ming couldn't keep that one in play. Cavalier, they have to be careful that they don't slip into apathy. Yes, they are in control. Yes, they are a man up. But you have to try and keep playing as normal as you can.
Yeah, you have to do that. The fact is, I think they're just, because of the good run that you spoke about, Donald, the 4 games that they have not conceded, they're backing themselves that they can defend this lead. But I agree with you, it's dangerous. I felt it would have been dangerous to play that way against a Waterhouse team with 11 players. Maybe just got a little bit more harder for Waterhouse with 10. But you're right, just one slick break from Waterhouse, you could find yourself on level peggings.
Well, there's also a thing called momentum in football that you can never underestimate. They may just pick it up here through Doxley. Wonderful ball to Ming for a change. Webster, first touch wasn't the best, but he still has it. Was he being hauled there? No. Bins. Play has been stopped. Doxley goes into the referee's book. St. Lucian can't believe the call. Is that the challenge?
I think he got ball there, Doxley. It was a hard, firm challenge, unless the referee deemed that he went a little over the top, but I didn't see that on the replay either. So I think harsh for the call, but worse, to be compounded by being shown a yellow card.
Again, I wonder if it was something that was said.
Well, that means he wouldn't have learned his lesson from the display from referee nation earlier in the game.
Caution going to
I think that the players would try to not have a conversation with him as much as possible.
officially in the 38th minute.
Well, I don't think Nikolai Finnison got a red card for having a conversation with the referee, but I get your point.
He was trying to have one. Maybe the referee didn't like the tone of how he spoke to him, but for him that's a normal convo. And you will say, well, the adrenaline is high, you don't get on the football field talking softly. But
It's about as bad as saying regards in a work email. Here's Waterhouse coming forward. Through Fletcher, has a little space to work with, sends it out wide. Bradford delivers, looking for Thomas. It's too heavy, that pass. Thomas sends it back inside. Beadle's shot is blocked, and Atkinson has it, and Cavalier will try to come away with it, and it's sent out wide. Irving can't get there. Good work at the back from Elvis Wilson, who has come through the ranks at Waterhouse to be one of their premier centre backs. A player who has come from Linstead, didn't do schoolboy football, didn't make a name for himself at that level. Actually waited out a year last season because of the fact that he knew that other centre backs were favoured in front of him as he took part in Waterhouse's pre-season. But he has bided his time, and now he's in the final of the Jamaica Premier League. So what a wonderful story for Wilson if he can actually win the title with Waterhouse. Of course, he doesn't have his captain beside him, so it's even more difficult for the youngster.
But earlier when we saw Waterhouse in and around the penalty area of Cavalier, those are the moments that we will have to make count when they do get those opportunities that will not come in quick successions. When they do get them, they have to be precise and try and make them count. Because with the man advantage, Cavalier will have the bulk of the possession. Really deep Waterhouse in that 4-4-1 formation when they're not with the ball.
Can they transition now? Nikashe Murray, too much on it for Shaniel Thomas. Bins. Fletcher battling over on the far side for Waterhouse. Cavalier, they get it back. Leng. Murray. Looks like a chess game at the moment.
Cavalier quite okay with just keeping it up here. It's just about 3 minutes to the interval.
Waterhouse, they're not willing to press, not yet anyway. But they're the ones who need a goal. Doxley. Ming. Keeps it in play. Gets a throw for his team.
Maybe in the second half is when we'll see a different approach and setup from Waterhouse.
Webster. Doxley. Good turn. Sent out wide to Ming. Ming needs a favourable delivery. It's inside to Doxley and Atkinson. There was a quick appeal for a handled ball there. Nothing doing. Now it's going to be a free kick to Waterhouse.
It would have been harsh to give that as a penalty, because once the referee made the call, would have made a call, then it would have had to be a penalty, and that was by no way a penalty.
Let's see what Waterhouse can do with the possession and how they're able to transition. Fletcher collecting it deep, sends it wide to Kimani. Campbell receives the ball back from Fletcher. Oh, it's a poor one to Fletcher from Campbell. Atkinson to Webster. Thomas making a run. The flag stays down. It's Shanil Thomas. He blasts it over. Oh, it's a big chance for Cavalier. A big chance. And Shanil Thomas should have at least hit the target.
It's almost like he was begging the assistant referee to hold the flag up. I mean, he just looked as if he just didn't look as if he put a lot of thought into that strike. And in the end, he just went too much under it, on the challenge, the pressure. But still, you expected him to hit the target from there. That would have been what you'd feel a knockout punch. I dare say this early in the game. Waterhouse going 2 behind and a man down. You would have to think long and hard as to what strategy they would employ to get back into it. Thomas there has been a good threat throughout the season in front of goal. Certainly will want to forget that one.
In the mind, he's probably thinking, I hope that was offside. But no, the flag stayed down.
and that's that. You can see what Cavalier is trying to do. Just pass and pass and pass. You pass the football for a purpose, and the purpose is to shift your opponents out of position. Once you do that, space open up, and you have to use that quite quickly. So far, their passes have been slick and precise. You can't say the same for Waterhouse when they do get in possession.
2 minutes of time to be added on at the end of the 45 here. And Cavalier involved in a game that Waterhouse, they have little intention to play. Not yet anyway.
Minimum of 2 minutes to be added to the end of the first half.
Doxley.
Minimum 2 minutes to be added to the end of the first half. It's the final of the Jamaica
Bradford working in defense.
Cavalier leads by a goal.
Aaron getting a lot of attention from his teammates, thinking that he did not do well to help them to keep that ball.
Not sure if they realized that there was little he could have done on that occasion, but alas.
Exactly.
They want to keep Cavalier at bay before the half. Late challenger coming from Leng. Howell sends it inside to Donata Thomas. Thomas turns on the afterburners. Campbell sends this one inside, and it's headed behind for a corner kick late in the first half.
And we saw in the...
They're going to take it quickly. At least that was the thinking. And they have. They get another corner quickly.
We saw in the semi-final against Mount Pleasant that second leg when they were a goal behind. It was just before half-time that Waterhouse was able to draw level.
Cavalier, they have a lot of height at the back. It's going to be difficult for Waterhouse to win a header here. But it's Thomas who's going to try to put in the perfect delivery. And it's headed away by the tallest man on the park. Shot from distance. Going wide. Waterhouse still with it though. Not for long. Irving is back there, and he's fouled. Free kick to Cavalier. That is that for the first half. 1 goal in it. Jamoy Topi, the man who has provided the breakthrough, the difference maker. Another critical thing is that Waterhouse, they are down to 10 players. Their captain, Nikolai Finlayson, getting a red card. And Cavalier looking for their first title in 40 years. They are ahead at the break by 1-0. welcome back our viewers, and we also welcome the rain here at the UE JFF Captain Horace Burrell Centre of Excellence. The Jamaica Premier League final underway, and the second half to begin shortly. 1-0 in favour of Cavalier over Waterhouse. Referee O'Shane Nation is ready to get things on the way, and the hope for Waterhouse is that the rain doesn't really rain on their parade, although they're behind the 8 ball already. They're down to 10 players in this one. Their captain Nikolai Finlayson is off the park. He was shown a straight red by Referee Nation, and the question is, how will they approach this second half? Dwight Jeremiah may have the answer.
Well, they did in the latter part of the first half look to sit deep. I suspect they played with a 4-4-1 system, but I think for their sake they could go to a 4-3-2 system, because they're used to playing the 4-3-3, and as such, to have 3 midfielders, I think that's something that they would be comfortable with, and they would have a better presence up front with 2 players. So I think that's something that Coach Gale could look at. But certainly the spectacle that it was shaping up to be early in the game, that red card really put a damper on it, along with the rain. So often we say referees with red cards may spoil a final, but on the evidence of what we saw, it's really Finlayson who really spoiled the final.
And he would want to cut out time wasting, just speaking his mind to the Cavalier players just now. I'm sure they would be more keen to manage the game as they are doing from the back. Doxley.
It's going to be key for Waterhouse is what time in this game that they decide to be a little bit more expansive or press a little bit more. This is a one-off final, so they have to get back in it, but they're so far a measured approach.
Fletcher playing that one inside. Thomas. Beadle. Cavalier composed so far at the back. Leg and Murray playing it between themselves. Rain coming down even harder here at the Centre of Excellence as Cavalier coming forward. The ball played through to Ronaldo Webster, who was trying to set up Shanil Thomas, and didn't quite reach him. Corner kick though to Cavalier.
Yeah, that was worrying times there for Waterhouse. For a moment they felt they were under the caution. Webster just looking for a precise pass across goal for Thomas. But the recovering defender was just there. It was Wilson who found himself in the right line of that pass and ensured that it didn't go to Thomas.
The players are going to come off. Yeah, the players are going to come off for a short time because there is actually lightning nearby. Welcome back to the Centre of Excellence. The players are warming up, so we're about to restart action here. The play was stopped at about 3 minutes into the second half because of lightning and thunder showers. And as the players are warming up, it's probably a good time to look at the top 5 goals of the season so far. We'll put a little package together. It's a skipper. Oh, that's a fabulous strike! A captain strike! A thrilling strike! And they are turning on the grills. Yards out. They've found the back of the net to their skipper. It's 2-1.
We talk about the leading. We talked about the leader, Alex Thomas, looking so happy, and he's just winning his team. But that was a beautiful free kick from Romeo Godfrey, the captain. This is only their second time this season that they've scored 2 goals in a game. That last time was where they won. Look at the bench on that free kick. That was beautiful, absolutely magnificent. And Romeo Godfrey, take a bow, young man. That was a very good goal.
I am not sure if he'll score a better goal than that.
Shot. Oh, what a brilliant goal! That was fantastic by Shivani Willis. What a strike! And that is the 3rd goal of the game. What a goal by Shivani Willis, the substitute. And oh my word, I know that Ricardo Bibi Gardner will be happy about that one.
That was a great strike there. Just the time that he's been given on the ball again. Nobody close to him, but once it fell to him, he let fly. It seems like it took a deflection. I was wondering, it looked like he just got away from Harrison, but even so, he's not getting to that one. There's no way he's getting to that one. I think this one will give us a better thing. Yet seems to have taken the deflection off Morris, and that was always going to make a difficult shot even more difficult for Morris, for Harrison.
Smith now to Powell. And it could be an opportunity. Brilliant. That was brilliant. A very good team goal. What a goal that was. That's a goal of the season. What a goal that was. Bang. Player. Something in this. I did say that they were playing like they did have an element. Look at that. Going to where he was.
Several passes on the replay there. Excellent. Good pass by Smith into James. Oh, presence of mind from Saniki Burton as well to know that the goalkeeper will come into him at the front goal. Byron, be in front of the goal, will feed you. You just have to tackle. That's my goal of the season thus far.
Here's a free kick from Christian. That's not a bad delivery at all. They're good onside here. They're looking for a penalty. It goes the other way. It's 3 against 1 at the moment. Bradford is on the ball. Can one outskill the game now? Bradford has options. Will go himself. Oh, that's a brilliant finish. Shaquille Bradford with a bomber. Seals the win for Waterhouse. Is that the impetus? The transition from the junior to the senior level. He'll never forget this goal. And with that, Waterhouse 2 ahead and 3 points in the bag.
Very well played by Waterhouse. Risky there by Dunderwood. As we mentioned before, most games in this league finish either 1-0 or 2-0. The second goal for the winning team always coming when one team is chasing. Bradford did very well there too. Shimmy by Shaquille Dyer, who's an excellent defender. Off the underside of the bar into the back of the net. Game over for Waterhouse.
Introduce yourself again. On that occasion. Here's the shot from distance! What a strike! Now that is stunning! That was some hit! Because Watkins was off his line, and that was fired in from distance. One of the goals of the Premier League.
To backside. Watch out.
With the top goal of the season, and I tell you what, the 5 goals that we saw were of the highest quality, Dwight Jeremiah.
Yeah, there were finishes that any level of football that you would see those finishes, they would have been considered to be really, really world class.
So the game has restarted. It's a corner kick to Cavalier, and this one is headed over the top, and it's going to be another corner kick. Howell in the right place at the right time. Just to recap quickly, of course, you see the scoreline on your screen. Cavalier leading by a goal to nil. A strike by Jamoy Topi. Waterhouse down to 10 players. They have lost their captain, Nikolai Finlayson. Straight red card.
Yeah, and Cavalier, as we said, await this corner kick.
Here's a delivery again. That's not a bad one. It's headed away. Another corner kick. So Cavalier applying the pressure, and they're also taking their time about the proceedings as well. So they're managing it well. This is their 5th corner kick.
I think Waterhouse, they have to be concentrated here.
Not the best delivery inside, but that wasn't the best clearance either. Now Waterhouse, can they come away with it? This is probably their best chance to advance. There's a whistle on the play. The challenge coming in on the centre back, who was trying to get out of his own half. And free kick to Waterhouse, and I think a card was shown as well.
Yeah, you'd think a card would be shown for that because it was an attack that they broke up. It was one of those technical fouls just to stop them, the momentum or the forward play of Waterhouse. Erwin, the person shown the yellow card.
Yeah. Getting Irving now in the referee's book.
We've seen some 5 yellow cards, 1 red card shown so far in this game. Cavalier, they've been involved in games with more red card than any other team this season. 4 games with red card, 5 red cards all told.
You wouldn't have imagined that there was a thunderstorm that passed over us a few minutes ago, based on what we were seeing. Kadil Irving just confirming that he got the yellow card.
And the sun is back with us, Donna.
Of course. Not the best supply there on that occasion from Richard King.
But you feel that Waterhouse, they will have to, at some point in this game now, change their approach. Because...
Well, here's a chance for Waterhouse now. 2 players inside. Thomas trying to get the shot off. It was blocked. Picked up by Kimani Campbell, who lost this one inside, and no problems there for Jadine White.
A poor delivery there from Campbell. And as I've always said, it's those moments that Waterhouse have to be very, very careful with. They have to be very precise with their passing, because they don't get a lot of those moments because the fact that they're down a player. So when they get into those advantageous situations in the opponent's defensive third, they have to make it count.
Well, here they are again in the defensive third. What can they do with this? Campbell. Howell looking for the return ball from Shaquille Bradford. And he goes to the turf, wins a free kick. Can Waterhouse make this count? They've made a substitution. Ricardo Thomas is on the park for Rowan Beadle. Here's a delivery at the back post. Headed behind for a corner. Ricardo Thomas is considered to be one of the fittest players in the Waterhouse setup.
Well, they need to cover a lot of grounds today, so maybe the perfect player to come on, and they have a corner kick here.
There's the delivery, headed away by Irving. Couldn't beat the man at the near post, should have been a better service.
Yeah, you talk about getting into the final third and being very precise. Set plays are going to be important for them as well, and when they get it, again, much thought have to be put into it.
I was thinking of the shot, the turn, and the shot deflected over the top. It's going to be a corner kick. Bradford trying to cause problems there. Waterhouse playing a little bit more expansively. Bradford looking for the space, was going wide.
Yeah, but that perfection could have sent it to the far side, far corner as well. So
another corner kick at the back post, headed away. Waterhouse will try to recycle the possession. Denada Thomas. Ball played inside, easily headed away. Denada Thomas picks it up back. Bins. Well, that's not a bad ball to Bradford. Bradford looking to cut inside and then back out. Thomas looking to make a run inside the penalty area. Howell, rather. And it's booted out of the box.
Felt Howell had an opportunity to get the ball into the box. Maybe just because there were only two Waterhouse players in there, he hesitated, but it was an opportunity.
Oh, Waterhouse, they get it back. The delivery inside the area, headed away. Not properly. Rafiq Thomas trying to get it under control. Shot from outside the box. And there's a challenge on Denada Thomas, and Dwayne Atkinson goes into the referee's book.
Yeah, so here's another set piece for Waterhouse to try and put some effort into this one. Rafiq Thomas there, Dwayne Atkinson, just a high boot. Just felt that the ball was there to win, but just a high boot, and that one was always going to be a red card, a free kick.
Atkinson goes into the referee's book. "28 yards out, this free kick. What can Waterhouse do with it?" See Rafiq Thomas behind it. Jaden White is making sure that the wall is set up.
Telling him that he wants 4 men and in the wall. But Waterhouse, the players who are not over the ball have to be very alert in the event that there's any spill by White.
This could be dangerous. Here's a chance that goes into the wall. That was the effort from Binns. And going to be another free kick to Waterhouse.
It was unnecessary from her, and he had been perfectly where he wanted him, facing the outfield. No need to have made the contact.
Remember that he's on a yellow as well, so he really has to be careful. Push was unnecessary.
Yeah, had Binge was on his way to goal, then maybe could have been another yellow.
Waterhouse with another set piece, and that was wasted.
Yeah, that's it where Waterhouse is concerned. Like I said before, set plays are a perfect opportunity for them to get back into the game, and you feel they're gonna have to put more thought into it. At the moment, from open play, they're not looking as threatening as they would like, and everything is happening in front of this Cavalier defense.
He's confident at the back, isn't he? Young Richard King. But they've given up possession. It's a chance here for Rafiq Thomas over the top.
Bradford was thinking that he would have been a better option if Thomas would have just slipped a pass through to him. Have a look here. or it's more Fletcher who felt that he was in a good position. We saw him in the Oh My Goal feature saying that he's one who has very good movement off the ball, and he was in a very good position just now, and felt that Rafiq could have found him.
Cavalier with the possession. Webster with a touch, trying to move away from his marker. It goes the other way now. Waterhouse looking for that equalizer. Thomas forced to go wide. Sets it back. Campbell with the effort, not a lot of power there. And the shot from distance from Donata Thomas is high and wide.
Yeah, a little bit more composure required here from Waterhouse. Just shooting at will, and you feel that they need to just be a little bit more composed and carve out better opportunities. These are low percentage chances that they're working with, and you feel like they just need a little bit more calmness about their play. Waterhouse 7 shots. I don't think they've had much of that on target. And we see Cavalier, they have 5 shots as Jadine White is down for Cavalier.
Little speed, looking cool and calm for the moment.
Why wouldn't he be? He's a man up and a goal up. Coach Gale there just trying to engage his players on the bench, maybe just to see who might be up for this task, who might be ready to go out there. So much at this stage, maybe down to the mindset of players coming on. You're down a player, you have to have the right mindset to know that you're going to have to work very hard, work overtime to get back into this game. Still have some 30 minutes or thereabout to go. It's enough time for Waterhouse to get back in it. And in recent sequence of events, they're the team that has been pressing.
Cavalier with the majority of the possession right now, but they have to do some defending as Waterhouse, they seek to come forward. Ball played inside the box, and Jadine White just kept his eyes on it all the way. Didn't panic at all there.
No, not at all, and Bradford was bearing down on him, just looking to get the toe end of his boot on it, just out of his reach. But Waterhouse knocking here.
Yep, confidence increasing.
Well, I said just out of his reach, it was well out of his reach.
Remember in the first half I spoke about Cavalier, they have to be careful about slipping into apathy, trying to slow the game down, and it seems as if even with the rain break as well, they have lost some momentum here.
Yeah, possibly too, and you feel that when the red card was issued to Finlayson, at that moment, Waterhouse, they weren't settled, they were trying to find a shape again. Cavalier, they didn't try and press.
Waterhouse looking better with 10 players. Fletcher on it. Going forward, sweeps it wide. Donata Thomas is there. 3 to aim for inside the box. And almost wasted, but they'll get it back. Wilson. Howell. Thomas should have done better.
It's been the story of the game for Waterhouse. A lot of time they get into these promising situations, and the accuracy of the pass or the touch not there, and they allowed Cavalier to get 11 players behind the ball. And initially when the break was on, there was a lot of space. If they could have just be more accurate and precise with their passing.
Waterhouse again. This is Kimani Campbell now, looking for the options. Thomas. Oh, Thomas is giving it away. Shaniel Thomas now almost picking it up for Cavalier and capitalizing. It goes the other way once more for Waterhouse. Fletcher. It's going to be a throw into Waterhouse.
Yeah, Waterhouse definitely first real sustained period of pressure since the red card.
Doxley, Atkinson, Webster. Now Waterhouse, they are pressing. Denada Thomas picks it up. Has Ricardo Thomas to his right. Intercepted by Gadale Irving. Atkinson. Their first option is to play it sideways or back just to try and slow it down, Cavalier, and it's really not working. Ricardo Thomas is trying to get there, but reaching there first is goalkeeper Jadine White.
And Doxley on that occasion just did enough. I think a body check there and allowed White to be favourite for that ball. Initially you felt that Waterhouse would have gotten onto the end of it.
Ming. Cavalier, confident in playing it around the back. Nicochet Murray back to Leng. Waterhouse will again press.
Yeah, those back passes they are triggers for Waterhouse to push up.
And now they're trying to launch it long, but that should be handled by Nash. Waterhouse custodian. Thomas. Wilson. Campbell. That's Thomas for company. That was slack from Denada Thomas. And a change is going to be made. Rafiq Thomas is going to make his exit for Waterhouse. Siobhan Stewart is going to make his entrance.
I said you could see before, about 5 minutes ago, Coach Gale just looking on his bench and engaging players. Feels Siobhan Stewart is the man to inject here and to give his team a little bit more life.
Also, Gale, of course, would have known Siobhan Stewart very well, even from his days at St. George's College. Gadale Irving on it now. Thomas is making a run inside the box. The ball is delivered over the head of Thomas and behind. Wasted effort again.
I think with what we've seen in this second half, or since the break with the rain, Waterhouse have been the team with in the ascendancy. Cavalier now recognizing that they probably need to get another goal to kill this one off. You feel Waterhouse, they still think that they have a chance despite down to 10 players, but another goal you feel will just knock the stuffing out of them.
Let's see if the game plan works. Reserved game plan by Cavalier. Webster doing well, but apparently illegally so. Referee saying that his hand was around the neck of the defender, and he was pretty right. He was right there on his shoulder as well, pulling him back. Stewart. Ricardo Thomas there. There he is. Stewart continuing his run. Thomas deciding to cut inside, you know, and losing it. Howell gets there. Stewart gets it back. Across to Denada Thomas now. Is there a goal here for Waterhouse? Ricardo Thomas looking for Bradford. And Leng winning that battle with Bradford.
He said they were schoolmates. Donald, there's no love lost between the two. Bradford just not getting the better of him so far in this game, but is a player that will keep trying. It's good defensive work there. He just got himself between man and ball, and it's always going to be difficult for Bradford to get on the end of that one.
Oh, another water break is taken.
With all the water that we just saw coming from the skies that opened up, I guess the coaches won't mind somewhat, maybe Coach Gale there, because his team pretty much has come out that interrupted break there with the better team. But it's an opportunity for him to drive home the game plan. And for Cavalier, who is leading this one by a goal to nil, they will suggest what they need to do to keep this one out.
Just the one goal in this so far, and it came courtesy of Jamoy Topi in the first half, rising highest inside the penalty area, and really the goalkeeper Zimoy Nash should have done better as he tried to grab a hold on it and missed it completely.
Went with one hand just flapping at it like a volleyball player. He probably needed to come with his two fists there and get that ball away, but yeah, you'd expect your goalkeeper to get contact onto that ball all day long. And the corner kick was just right on the goal line pretty much. It was curving in, so Topi didn't have much to do, but still in the end he did what was necessary, and that goal still is what separates these two teams.
So play is about to restart. They're waiting on something. See Richard King going off the field. Has to change his footwear.
Speed a little bit bemused by, but it is the metal studs that referee nation is not pleased with.
Well, they're back to their full complement now, Cavalier, as they have the possession. Free kick to Waterhouse, deep in their own half. Around the 20 minutes to go, Dwight. And Waterhouse, they have been pressing and they have been having the better of the play so far in the second half. That goal still eluding them though, and they need it.
And for Cavalier, just put it into context, they continue on and not conceding a goal. If they were to win this one by this margin or to keep a clean sheet here today, it would have been about 450 minutes that they would have gone without conceding. Not something that you would have associated with Cavalier, pretty much known for their attacking play.
Almost as if Waterhouse, they have to come with something special. And the referee says play on. And so they are. Siobhan Stewart, Shaquille Bradford, back to Stewart. Plays it out wide to Ricardo Thomas now. Can't beat the first defender. Howell. Stewart. Thomas getting in there. Stewart. Stewart gets the return ball. And they manage to clear it out of the area. Waterhouse recycling the possession and they come again. Kimani Campbell. Bradford.
Yeah, they're knocking Waterhouse, but they're also being their own downfall in terms of the touch. And Bradford there, just a heavy touch that invited Topi, and he did make the challenge, and in the end the bounce was kind to Topi, and it's a goal kick.
Ball played along the channel. Shaniel Thomas will get there. Only has Webster for company. Oh, that's good work at the back by Wilson. Elvis Wilson has done really well there.
Yeah, that was good defensive work by him. Just unlucky with that final touch. And a play like that, you know, Cavalier, they're going to milk it. So often you hear it said in football, and it's cliché that to say the next goal is quite vital. Certainly in this game that is so gripping at the moment, the next goal is certainly very vital for either team. It will create situations that are at opposite ends of the spectrum.
Bradford, not a bad first touch. Waterhouse set to make another change. Andre Fletcher will exit.
Oh, there goes
Colorado Murray is now on the park.
There goes Fletcher's chance, if there was any, for him to get the golden boot. He was on 5, just one behind the leaders. So it's now down to Bradford. But with 8 different goal scorers this season, Waterhouse will take it from anyone.
Bradford goes down. Referee says play should continue. Thomas. Oh, he does really well, Shaniel Thomas, as he sets it out wide to Ronaldo Webster. First touch wasn't the best. Gave Kimani Campbell the chance to rob him. And now Campbell goes the other way. Webster stays down. Waterhouse will continue. Pretty even. Stewart. Murray gets his first touch. Sends it out wide to Ricardo Thomas. Thinking of the shot and does take it. Damian Vince. And no problems with J18 White. Webster, who is down, is going to be substituted now.
Yeah, I guess he's coming from an ankle injury. As we said the last time we saw him before today was that game against Portmore where he scored the winning goal. But this is the tackle on Webster. Very firm challenge, and maybe just aggravated that ankle. But it seems he was the player set to come off anyway. Maybe he came back. We see the shot that White just easily parried down to himself. But yeah, maybe was not from the start up to speed to a complete 90 minutes. But Cavalier, they will be confident even when he's off the park, because as I said, since the Portmore game, they have gone on a very good solid run without him. And he has come into today's game and played his part.
We hope to see him back on the field soon, as we take a look at the new CEO of Sportsmax, Nicholas Matthews. I'm sure he has his eyes on the Sportsmax app.
Yeah, that's where everything is. That's the epicenter of what is happening today in terms of football. So yeah, for sure.
Craig Butler is also there, the man who is in charge of Phoenix Academy, and of course known as the father of one Leon Bailey. Simpson coming on for Webster. That's a change.
Replaced by number 24, Leroy Simpson.
So several VIPs in the house.
And we can tell what's going to happen now with Simpson coming onto the park. And normally a defender, the last time we saw Rudolph Speed using Simpson as an attacking midfielder, what he wanted to do was to break up the play of the opponent at the time. It was Tivoli, and it worked to perfection.
Ball flicked on to Irving. And again, Wilson is back there. Or rather, that's Binns. Cavalier with the possession. 12 minutes away. These youngsters are 12 minutes away from making history. All they have to do is defend.
You make it sound quite simple, Donald. All they have to do is defend.
All they have to do is defend.
Well, let's see. It has been easy for them so far. You feel a real major scare from provided by this Waterhouse outfit today.
Well, all the players are behind the ball now for Cavalier. Waterhouse, remember, with 10 players, they have to be precise. Cavalier, of course, can hit them on the counter. That was imprecise. No problems there for Topi. The goal scorer in this one bangs it long, looking for Chanel Thomas. Atkinson is making the run. And the back there, Kimani Campbell, with a vital interception. We're in a situation now where Waterhouse, they have to get everything right when they're in the attacking third. Howell, Campbell, Stewart, Campbell running inside. Stewart still with possession. Campbell running inside didn't give Stewart any options there.
Oh, for sure. And yeah, I was just about to say they're not creating enough overloads in the wide areas, Waterhouse. And in fact, it's a heavy traffic in the middle of the park for Cavalier.
They have to try and stretch the game a little bit more.
Yes, exactly. So they need to play a lot more on in the wide areas, but they have to create overloads when they so do and turn this Cavalier defense around. At this moment, everything happening in front of Cavalier, and again we see a wayward pass there from Waterhouse, really not helping their cause.
Atkinson applying the pressure there, and it's going to be a throw in.
You feel on the evidence of Ting Donald, if it were to end this way, Waterhouse have themselves to blame from the red card with Finlayson and how they have played since then.
Well, here's Cavalier looking to kill this game off as a contest, thinking of the shot, and does take it, Murray. It's wide of the mark. Let's see how wide it was. Yeah. By some distance. Stewart. Howell. Jaden White watching that all the way.
That's his bread and butter for him all day long.
You know, he didn't win a schoolboy football title when he was at St. Andrew Technical. Been to a couple finals with Stats. He'd lost both of them. Now he's on the verge of winning a Premier League title. Cavalier. Irving continues his run. The keeper should get there though. I mean, Irving is quick, but he's no Superman.
And that had too much weight on it. Just needed to take a little bit off.
Ball switched over. Leng heading that one into touch.
That's the thing you see, and those things indicate that these boys are really up for the challenge and putting in the effort to win this.
Stewart, lovely ball inside. Now it's played out wide to Campbell. Can he keep this one in play? He can. Forced to go back to his captain Binns. Thomas to Howell. Howell back out wide and the interception made. Ming doing enough. Wilson. Oh, Atkinson does well in defense, recovering. There was nobody up for Cavalier. So Waterhouse will come again. Colorado Murray. Nobody there in a green shirt. Simpson on it now. Can bustle his way forward, you know, but he was pulled back. And free kick to Cavalier. Yellow card will come out, I'm sure. No? To Colorado Murray? Well, based on what we've seen before, I thought that was pretty obvious.
Yeah, Murray twice here not helping his team. The pass was bad in the attacking third, and then trying to make up for it. Got the wrong side of Anderson, of Simpson rather.
And immediately ran away from the scene of the crime.
Maybe that helped him.
Maybe. Although I don't think that referee nation is suffering from short-term memory loss, but he decided not to give him the card. Another change is to be made. Jamar Purcell is on for Gadil Irving. Or he's going to come on. And Shanil Thomas is making his way off as well. Colin Anderson is on. Of course, he would have got the crucial goal, the only goal in the semi-final two-way playoff.
So now Waterhouse have more things to worry about.
Yeah, in terms of the speed, right?
Yes, most definitely.
Ball played inside the area, it's headed away. And it's going to go for a throw-in. Ming to take the throw. Waterhouse will come away with it. Whistle on the play. Gonna be a free kick. They have to be careful of Colin Anderson. They really do. He's an absolute firecracker on the field, and he will run all day. They have to even be more careful. Campbell finding Stewart. Stewart trying to find the ball through the middle. It's a chance here, and there was a miscommunication at the back there, you know. Murray finds the turf. White wanted to come out, but his defender, Leng, trying to come between them.
Yeah, I think King had the problem there. He miskicked, and Leng felt that the situation needed his attention. And White maybe didn't have the time to give notice that he was coming. And if he did so, Leng felt that he was going to deal with it himself.
Corner kick is taken. Baines trying to get the delivery inside. There was a handled ball there. Free kick to Waterhouse.
Yeah, we talk about set piece being something that may be one of the best ways for Waterhouse to get back into this tie.
Every player back inside the box for Cavalier. And now they are trying to counter-attack. The ball is spread out wide. Purcell will get there. Anderson needs to keep onside. The ball wasn't the best though.
Yeah, I think just when the ball was played, he was checking his run. And that gave the opportunity to the defender in Baines.
Topi doing enough. One of the standout players of the game, Jamoy Topi. Maybe the man of the match award will go to him. And the yellow card is shown to Wilson for an infringement on the play earlier. So Topi definitely one of the standout players, as we confirmed that Elvis Wilson received that yellow card. Colin Anderson. Oh, need a better ball to Atkinson. Donata Thomas now. This was supposed to have been third time lucky for Waterhouse. Third straight final in the Premier League. But they trail with 90 seconds to go. Plus any time added for stoppages.
And the ball definitely not in that area of the park that Waterhouse would want. Marcel Gale now, the look on his face, he knows desperation time for Waterhouse.
They need to be urgent. They need to stride forward. Cavalier, they'll defend in numbers. Stewart needs to thread a pass through, and that wasn't what he had in mind.
And again Stewart on the ball there, and there was no player overlapping for Waterhouse on the outside there. Everything looking to go through the middle where there's a wall of white, and they have not been able to pierce that wall all game long. They just they've been one-dimensional so far. Major title looms here for Cold Speed.
Dwayne Atkinson is winded. He has run all day.
Would you expect anything different? Look at his jersey. I'm
That
pretty
could be
sure
because
not
of the
because of
rain,
rain.
though.
No, he changed it when he went in. I'm thinking that the percentage of sweat is higher than the rain there, because of what work, the body of work he did today, Donald.
I'll take your word for it.
I mean, he was at the back blocking shots and blocking passing lanes.
He has put in a shift as well. 7 minutes of stoppages added. 7 minutes for Waterhouse to try and get an answer. 7 minutes for Cavalier to try and hold on.
Boy, Cavalier, they know they've waited 40 years. Now they have to wait just 7 minutes.
He's nervous. He's anxious.
And who wouldn't be?
They're going to make a change. Atkinson, his day is done. And Christopher Ainsworth is coming on the park. He's going to be a willing runner, Ainsworth, for Cavalier, as Marcel Gale looks on. This may be difficult. The keeper decides to advance finally. Here's Binns. Binns doing enough to get by Ainsworth. Howell to Ricardo Thomas. Thomas, that's not a bad looking delivery, no. It's a big chance! Colorado Murray almost got on the score sheet but was denied by J.D. White.
Yeah, but that was a big save from White, but did something happen before that Waterhouse is contending? They kept on playing. Maybe they felt they should have had another call.
He had a while to let fly. Did Colorado Murray. Beautifully set up by Shaquille Bradford. He hammered that one.
Did Murray really barge into the back? And that's what Waterhouse was wondering, but they, to their credit, kept on playing.
Well, here's the corner kick for Waterhouse. Delivery high inside the box over the head of Donada Thomas. Chevon Stewart gives chase, applying the pressure. Cavalier, they have some reprieve. Waterhouse will try again through Campbell, whose delivery inside intercepted by Topi again. They just can't beat him in the air.
Can't beat him for a long time now.
You really can't believe that Waterhouse, they are just playing with 10. Wilson collects, robbed of the ball. Anderson taking his time. Ball played forward. Has he beat the offside trap? Ainsworth heading inside the box. Anderson is there for company. Ainsworth heading to the byline and just running out of ideas as well as real estate.
And support as well, didn't have much. It was Anderson and his path was blocked. Waterhouse, they come the other way.
Coming forward is Howell to Ricardo Thomas. There was a late challenge there on Murray. You can say youthful exuberance from Ainsworth.
Well, yeah, needed to be, he felt at that time. Let's hope that they organize themselves from this Cavalier into the 4th minute of the 7.
They need a good delivery. Here it is inside the area, headed away again. Looking for space, Siobhan Stewart. Deflected effort, goes behind for another corner kick.
Waterhouse, they're knocking. And you get the feeling that if it's going to happen, it's going to be now.
Taken short. Ball delivered inside. Flicked on. Header had to be touched over by White.
And if they go on to win it, then White would have been at the centre of it. Topi, yes, he got the goal, but White is the player that is keeping Cavalier ahead of Waterhouse at this stage. Fingertips there.
Wonderfully manoeuvred by Colorado Murray, you know.
Yeah, he was going away from goal, and it's always difficult when you're going away from goal.
Corner kick at the back post, headed away. Leng back there. Waterhouse still trying to feed that penalty area. Centre wide. Thomas delivers. The header wasn't guided goalwards properly. Was off balance though. Couldn't do a lot with it. And it's going to be another corner kick.
Well, you can't fault Waterhouse for the effort in these latter stages, especially in this added 7 minutes, because they have been the ones who have been doing all the attacking. This is their 8th corner.
There's the delivery at the back post. It's a chance for Stewart! And the referee has pointed to the spot. The yellow card shown to Simpson. And Waterhouse, they have a penalty. It's stoppage time. Goodness me.
Donald, it was coming. You saw it coming. They were knocking. And you couldn't fault them, I just said, for their efforts. And they have one more little effort to do there. And yes, it was Simpson in the way. And it was always going to be a penalty.
We'll have to see that again. The shot came rifling in. We can't see a clear angle of it.
No, not at all. Referee Nation, though, he was well positioned to make the call. And the call he did make, it was a big call to be made in the 6 minutes of extra time. And Waterhouse, can they get this one? Remember, Jadine White in the semi-finals did save a penalty from Fleming.
Binns, who's wearing the captain's armband in the aftermath of Nikolai Finlayson departing. Looking to convert from 12 yards.
And Jadine White, as we said, saved the penalty. This is more pressured situation. You can see him just trying to compose himself, getting a drink of water there. I don't think he's thirsty, but just trying, as we see, just washing the mouth out, just trying to compose himself because he knows this is a big moment. He has pulled off a series of saves in the last 5 or so minutes. This, if he pulls it off, will be the biggest of the season.
Of course, the rules explained to Jadine White on the line. He can't move off it when it's being kicked. It's Binns who's behind this for Waterhouse to send this game possibly into extra time. Binns against White. White waiting, anxious. He's been waiting for a while as well, Binns. What will happen here from 12 yards? It's Binns! He rolls it past Jadine White, and somehow Waterhouse have found themselves back in the final and will go to extra time.
They've given themselves a chance, and remember, it was in the 85th minute that they did get an equalizer against this Cavalier team earlier in the season when it ended 2-2. Again, it is a penalty that brought back this Waterhouse team into this game. White distraught on the floor, but he will have to gather himself for some extra time because Waterhouse, they are not going away. They will not rest with this third time in the finals.
Incredible scenes. Absolutely incredible scenes. They were so close.
Put it into
Cavalier.
context. Binns had to wait a long time to take this penalty. The pressure was mounting, and the fact that he did it cool, calm, collective, and composed, sending White the wrong way. That's a penalty. That's a man for the moment, Binns. He's wearing the captain armband, and he's showing Finlayson how it is done as a leader.
Big moment. He comes up trumps. Well, we're back to live action. What you'd have missed is the penalty that was awarded to Waterhouse, and they made full use of it.
Yellow card again issued here by referee Nation. He's issued a lot of cards in this game.
In the 91st minute.
Ricardo Thomas goes into the referee's book. How will Cavalier play this half an hour now?
I think they'll have to make that man advantage count. They weren't really making it count in that first half, but the momentum is with Waterhouse.
And here's Shaquille Bradford. Bradford plays it inside, was looking for Stewart. Stewart reaching and grabbing, committing the foul here. Free kick to Cavalier.
I felt Bradford had the opportunity there to just take it to the line, just drop the shoulder inside and then go to the line. That was where his best opportunity probably lied. Or lead.
Ball punted long, handled by King, hustled by Howell.
But looking at it, Donald, if you're someone who's just tuning in, which I don't think you should be, where would you have been? You couldn't tell that Waterhouse, they're down to 10, especially in that last, in time added on. And so often you see a team coming back so late, the momentum with them, they go on to win it.
Who knew that Cavalier would have made a game out of this one with the lack of pressing and the lack of urgency? They were inviting the pressure. They had the confidence because they didn't concede in 4 games before this one. And then at the very end, the buckle.
I remember saying in my assessment on the program, The Zone, the Sportsmax Zone, when asked what do I think if they approach it that way, it was always going to be dangerous to lie deep and allow this dangerous Waterhouse team to just come at you and keep coming. And I said I felt they would find a way. They did in the end find a way back into the game. And those 2 chances from Thomas that he missed, massive now.
Now, who is the leader on this team for Cavalier? This young set of players, who will lift the team?
You expect a player of Doxley's experience too, and the fact that he's had a good tournament or good season. Waterhouse will not want anything doing here because they're already down to 10 players. Free Nation has shown today that he's quite willing to make the big decisions. He did make one for the captain Finlayson. He has made the penalty call in time added on. So don't want to give him the decisions to make.
Cavalier with a free kick. Ainsworth behind this one. And they have bodies forward, Cavalier. 6 inside the box. This needs to be a good delivery. It's not a bad looking one, but it's headed away. Doxley sends it out wide to Ainsworth once more. Gets the return ball. Here's Waterhouse now. 1 touch needed. Siobhan Stewart trying to roll back the years and trying to get by King. And I suppose because he's winded, the pass was awry. Oh, through ball through. Oh, it hits the heels of Colin Anderson, who was almost through there.
Yeah, it really was a scary moment there for Waterhouse, because I'm telling you, nobody was going to catch him.
Well, this game is about moments, and we've seen several. Purcell playing it inside, was looking for Anderson, picked off by Ricardo. Here is Shaquille Bradford. Bradford sweeping inside, and the clearance made. He got the better of Topi on that occasion.
I did say he did have an opportunity earlier. He took the advice. It was always better for him to go down the line or go down the channel. He did it on this occasion, just didn't gather it, just a touch. Wasn't perfect there, but just dropped the shoulder. I remember that goal we saw in the top 5 goals where he just dropped the shoulder, went inside and let fly.
Waterhouse with the possession. Howell finding space and hits that wide.
That's the intention. You could see what he was trying to do, just looking for the far corner, and that was the right intention, just a connection off, but definitely through the crowd. White would have seen it late had it been on goal, and would have had a lot of work to do to keep that one out. Waterhouse again, we see they've had 2 up front in this game. It did suggest that maybe they should switch to that, to a 4-3-2 system, and that will give them more joy, and we're seeing that playing out here with Bradford up front along with Murray joining him.
Surely Cavalier wouldn't have wanted this to go to penalties.
They will feel that White, who have saved and is a good penalty stopper.
Well, here's Purcell. Purcell drives that one inside the area, looking for Colin Anderson, and it goes behind for a goal kick to Waterhouse.
It continues to be an exciting encounter. Not even the heavy downpour of rain could put a damper on this final. It's Donald, I dare say it's one of the best we've seen in many years.
I think it's because of the intensity, as we take a look at what happened there, and not necessarily because of the quality that's on show.
Not necessarily, but the intensity, you're right, would have made up for the lack in quality.
King is back there, sends it long. Ming. Anderson. Murray. Howell. Ricardo Thomas.
Yeah, I needed to play that to the feet of Thomas. Just get that one back. Didn't choose to do that and just gave up possession. Denardo Thomas is a good ball handler, so playing into his feet probably would have initiated some form of contact and get a free kick.
Ball over the top, looking for Ainsworth. Wins the header, you know, trying to set up Colin Anderson. And Anderson causing the infringement, apparently, according to referee Nation.
Is it on Wilson?
Yeah, the challenge was on Wilson. Here's Thomas. Again, trying to play the ball through. Simpson. I wonder what's going through his mind after conceding that penalty. Coming on as a substitute in the second half. Switching the play now. Ming. Murray. Ming. Easily handled by the Waterhouse defense. Ainsworth were trying to get there, you know.
And funny enough, Donald, when teams have nothing to lose, you see how they play. It's just the mindset with it. Waterhouse, they knew it was coming down to the end of the game. They threw everything forward. They were looking slick and they were throwing numbers. Now they're back in the game and they're much more structured in their approach.
Can't keep that one in place, Siobhan Stewart.
Now they know they have a final to lose.
Well, that was Colorado Murray, in fact, yep.
So So it's who is going to crack, who has the mental resolve at this stage. At this stage of the game into extra time, Donald, it's not normally down to talent and technicalities. It's who wants it more, who desires it more.
Topi under pressure, you know, from Murray. And it's going to be a free kick to Cavalier. Simpson. Got a knock to his face. Will get the free kick. Simpson.
Yeah, just trailing elbow there. I don't think it was intentional, but it did have an effect. We're going to get 2 games that goes to penalties. Well, the light hold up for us to do so.
Topi. Laying it inside to Nikashe Murray.
Yeah, that was an easy call for the referee. I could see that from here. Simpson was applying too much pressure.
Bradford, or rather Thomas, gets a return ball and wins the corner for his team.
Quite intelligent play there from Donato. Really, I knew he had little option there, just 2 players in the box to aim for, but there was a lot of white shirts, so it would have to be so precise to pick them out, just giving his team a chance. And we did say set plays, they did score from a penalty. We did say set plays could be a means by which Waterhouse gets themselves into the game. Can go on to win it here.
Needs a good delivery inside the area. Stewart is there, sets it up, or tries to set it up on a platter for Wilson. Ming has it. Anderson pressing, had to be precise. Howell. Almost lost his boot in the process there. Howell. Stewart. Stewart trying to get by Murray. Thomas. Thomas hasn't been having a good passing game since he's been on the park. Ricardo Thomas, that is.
No, not at all. And Stewart did a lot of work there to get the ball out there and just looking for another crisp pass to keep the attack going. And you're right, Ricardo Thomas there, letting his team down.
Cavalier will come the other way, looking for Anderson, and that's booted behind just before Anderson could get there. Baines in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, he needed to be, because as I said earlier, Anderson a lot of pace. He has a lot of pace and can't afford for him to get by you, because all you'll be seeing his numbers just going away from you. Waterhouse now, they have to defend a set piece.
Purcell is over there to take the corner kick for Cavalier. They have the big players up top and couldn't get by the first defender. Doxley. Anderson couldn't quite control. And a push in the back. He'll go into the referee's book, Colin Anderson.
he's just trying to stop the attack or the counter-attack from Waterhouse, and Wilson looking as if he was going to get away from him. Addison might have spent too much energy going forward, couldn't use his pace to get back at Wilson, and felt he needed to commit the infringement.
Bradford drills it across the area, comes out as far as Stewart, looking to make some space, drags it across, and the deflected effort of Leng, and it's a corner kick to Waterhouse.
Yeah, I think Stewart, since coming into the game, you talk about him rolling back to yours, Donald, he has certainly rolled his ball very well across this turf. It's been a part of everything that is bright and beautiful for Waterhouse in these final stages of this encounter.
Ricardo Thomas needs a really good delivery here. Probably the last play of this first half of extra time. Chance here for Waterhouse. Lofted inside the area and headed away by Ming. That's the end of the first period of extra time. Second period of extra time on the way. Cavalier with a man advantage. Well, they've given up the free kick early. Who has the momentum now?
Well, coming into this extra time period, for sure it would have been Waterhouse, because they got the late equalizer and they would feel like the momentum was with them. And even into the first stanza, there are moments for both teams, but Waterhouse will feel like they're not down a player.
Waterhouse wouldn't mind penalties, you know, based on where they're coming from, I suppose, but you get the feeling that they probably think that right now Cavalier, a young Cavalier team, probably downcast with the fact that they conceded so late to go into extra time. Probably they are right for the picking.
Yeah, they might be. As I said, it's down to the mental aspect of the players at this stage, because yes, if it goes to penalties, who would hold their nerves? Coach Speed here, is he losing his cool? Referee Nation just letting him know he's still in charge, and Speed should know he wouldn't be afraid, I don't think, Referee Nation, to send Coach Speed to the stand.
Yeah, he sent out the Waterhouse captain. Why wouldn't he send out the Cavalier coach? Long ball over the top, looking for Colin Anderson. Anderson moving away from Wilson, or trying to. Wilson, did he trip him up? Yes, he did. Wilson is on a yellow card, you know.
Yes. I think he's better served not to say much, and if he does say nothing to aggravate Referee Nation. Yeah,
you can't say that it's a coming together.
What he needs to do now is to just organize his team to deal with this set play. That's where his attention ought to turn to. This looks like it's definitely going to be an in-swinger. Goalkeeper Nash was found wanting and called into question earlier into game. It seems like an eon ago.
Well, they have the free kick. Cavalier, can they capitalize? Swung inside at the back post. Ming trying to play it back inside the 6-yard box. It's cleared out by Waterhouse.
That was close for Waterhouse, very close. Cavalier coming very close to gain their lead, but in the end, yeah, it didn't fall kindly to a Cavalier player in the end.
I think it was Murray who actually made the clearance.
Yeah.
Back there, yeah. They couldn't, again, and goes all the way back in their own half. They reset and they give up possession. Murray trying to play it to Bradford on that occasion. He's winded.
Yeah, but Bradford, look at him, still looking to make that run in behind the defenders. It's really
He's really fit as well, you know, Bradford.
Yeah, young player, young boy as well.
So Murray should continue. There may be a few changes left to be made by Waterhouse. Yep, I think a couple of them may just be coming on shortly,
they
you
have
know.
two changes up their sleeve, Waterhouse, and Marcel Gale may have a mind of penalties as well, but also these may just be players that he feels could take him over the line before it gets to penalties.
Yep, and Colorado Murray will be one of the players taken out.
He looked like he was winded just now, or had run his last race.
Andre Leslie comes on the park. The number 27 for Waterhouse.
Number 27, Andre Leslie.
Murray as well had come on as a sub.
Yeah.
And number 20,
Devon Dunkley.
Murray has been injured throughout the season. Has had a stop-start season, but has pretty much played his role here today.
Well.
We're still here.
We are.
The light is fast fading.
It is.
Here in the east. Maybe if we were at the grill point, we'd have a
little bit more to work with. Yes.
To work with.
Cavalier still trying to take their time about this, you know. Ball over the top, looking for Anderson. He'll get there, but he needs some support. Has Purcell for company, decides to play it inside the area. It's a chance for McCleary, and he commits the foul inside the area. Free kick to Waterhouse.
Yeah, Anderson would have loved that centrally. That's where he's not a player with a lot of skill, but if he gets a run on goal, he'll finish. And that was wide of goal for him, and he just didn't have enough support when he played it inside. Waterhouse would have recovered. They're standing captain Binns, and give Binns a lot of credit. He had to step back into defense, and he has done so very, very well. McCleary there, just committing the infringement.
McCleary couldn't find a teammate. Now Cavalier showing a little bit of urgency. Anderson played through. It's a chance here, but the keeper off his line. Malanda Maxwell couldn't quite get there.
Yeah, that was critical, but I think a defender also, in his recovery run, really helped in making that, snuffing out that chance.
It was slightly behind him too, you know.
Yes. But it was Kimani Campbell who also made a recovery run and just got a body check there to put off.
Leslie. Bradford. They're crowding him out. Back to Kimani Campbell. Bradford again. He had to control that. Wilson was your handled ball.
I want to see that again. I mean, it was Wilson who was saying it didn't touch his hand as it went low.
Well, there was a big appeal as if we were playing cricket here. When it was closer to the ground, yes, his hand was involved. Leng. Shooting that one long, headed away. Ming trying to get there. He's looking for a penalty. Referee tells him to get up. Doxley now with it. Back to Leng. Thinking of the pass inside. And the keeper misses it. Oh my goodness, that was close. Nash in a horror movie just now.
Yeah, he would have been happy when he turned around. Marcel Gale there, he can't look. I mean, he would have been the heart of the mouth there because he was onside.
Here's the corner kick. That's not a bad looking one, you know. And it goes behind for a goal kick.
And would that send confidence sky high now in the Cavalier camp? And confidence rock bottom for Marcel Gale here if it were to go to penalties. Maybe he's a better shot stopper than a technical goalkeeper, Nash. He was at fault for the goal for Cavalier.
There was a handball there, but Waterhouse with the possession. McCleary trying to utilize his speed there. McCleary was always going down, but he gets back up to regain possession. Ainsworth, and Nash holds on.
Yes, I think Binns was quite happy to see that nestle into the chest of Nash. About 5 minutes left.
Goalkeeper is down.
I think he just needs a breather. I think he's still recovering from that.
He was close to a panic attack, I'm sure.
Exactly.
Which is probably the reason why he needs the attention
That's what
now.
I'm saying. Yeah, he just needs to recover because he's looking to the heavens, and I think he's talking to the Lord there, just thanking him for allowing that one to go wide. And that's a picture of concern there. You mentioned it earlier, Donald. The fact that they were so close and it slipped somewhat from them. What state of mind will these young Cavalier players be in if it goes to penalties?
Who will pick them up? They got the lead pretty early, you know. Javon Topi rising highest inside the box. Nash is flapping a thin air there.
Almost created deja vu just now after that, but yeah, Topi finishing well.
And then from 12 yards, Damian Binns, the last kick of the game, equalizing for Waterhouse.
Good you mentioned that, Donald, because just to look at the penalty in isolation there does not tell the full story. It was a high pressure moment. In or out, you missed that. As you saw, it was the final whistle right after that. Waterhouse would have been on the losing end for the third time in succession or successive season. They may still lose it yet because the game is still there, but he did give them a chance.
It's dark, you know.
It is.
It is getting dark. The cameras that we have obviously doing an excellent job. It may not appear to you, but it is actually getting quite dark. Waterhouse trying to get the go-ahead goal. Dunkley plays it out wide. Poor pass.
It had to be perfect there. I know they weren't going to square it because it was only Bradford in the box.
Purcell goes long, looking for Colin Anderson, who gets there, you know. Still a chance. Shot taken over the top. And that's Marlanda Maxwell again.
Yeah, Ben's there just got a vital touch to it, but it almost fell to Anderson. And Anderson just can't believe his luck here. Didn't come his way. And Maxwell, yeah.
You wouldn't want it set up better than that, though.
No, it fell nicely for Maxwell. And also Nash, he was well interested, despite it was going over.
Stewart trying to play a ball through. Running back, McCleary committing the foul. Free kick to Waterhouse.
Will they commit a lot of players for this one, Waterhouse? Mindful of the fact that this Cavalier team is very dangerous on the counter. But maybe at this point, Cavalier, they will not leave an outlet ahead of the ball.
Binns to take it. Lofted inside the area. Headed away. And it's free kick.
Yeah, free kick. Leslie, adjudged to have committed the infringement. I don't see this referee nation adding any time to this. Any time added on to this extra time period.
You should have just stopped at C because you're barely seeing here. Howell. Cavalier, they pick it up. Anderson spreads it out wide to Ming. Ming has some space to work with, delivers inside. And Nash holds on.
Yeah, Nash holds on. Something we have not said about him all game long. Consistently, that is.
Less than a minute to go to penalties.
Will go to penalty, you feel. Cavalier know they have in White a goalkeeper who can stop it.
Ball played over the top, looking for Colin Anderson. There are several players up to, Anderson just needs a good delivery. If he can get one. And if Ming can get one too. Play continues. Despite that infringement. Cavalier, ball played over the top, and he was in the right place at the right time. Binns, who puts it into touch, and now, well, the yellow card is being shown. Is that
It's a second yellow card.
I'm lost. Who was it shown to? Ming. A second yellow card shown to. Oh, I think just the yellow, because I don't think Ming was on a yellow card before.
Yeah, no, he wasn't on. And referee nation, with the amount of cards he has issued, no wonder he's lost track of it.
He was in a groove.
I mean, I've lost track one at a time. I've counted 9 yellow cards and 1 red card. That makes it 10 by my count. He's struggling to keep track of it. I mean, he has certainly issued the cards here. And so much so that he felt Ming was on a yellow card before this one. By my record, he wasn't.
Yeah, the play had continued afterwards. After the challenge on Kimani Campbell. But that's it for extra time. We're going to penalties to decide the Jamaica Premier League season.
And good you mention it, Donald, that despite our viewers are looking at the screen and seeing it bright, it's not as bright as it appears on the screen, but enough you feel for penalties to be taken. And can the youngsters of Cavalier hold their nerves? My heart says Cavalier, my head says Waterhouse. The momentum is with Waterhouse, but look at the faces of the Cavalier technical team. Webster there, he's trying to lift the players here. He came off. White saved the penalty in the semi-finals to ensure that Cavalier got here.
So it's 1-1 after full and extra time. Binns, very much a leader in this game, scoring already from the penalty spot.
And for him, it's going to be a mind game with White as well. And White would have seen him gone to his right. And does he stick with the right? Does he go left?
I think it's going to be Binns who starts off. Waterhouse will, of course, kick first. The keepers having a conversation with referee O'Shane Nation. Obviously talk about the fact that they cannot advance off the line. White has come up trumps on so many occasions for Cavalier. And even before then at the schoolboy football level, he's trying to deny Binns. Damian Binns against Jadine White. Saved by Jadine White! belief for Cavalier, belief.
Yeah, definitely. It's asked if he was going to stick to go right. Didn't get it as far in the corner as the penalty he scored earlier, just too close to White. And the mind games there. White decided to stick with going right. And in the end, he made the save.
There was hesitancy there from Binns.
Yeah, maybe just thinking, should I change and go to his left? But again, too, the contact wasn't right.
This is Richard King. And they're in front, Cavalier, in the penalty shootout. Confident kick from the young centre-back.
Yeah, these are young players, but showing no nerves here. Nash went the right way. But the power, by the time he got down, nowhere close to it, and the ball was always going away from him.
So, Cavalier lead 1-0. Shaquille Bradford to step up. He needs to put Waterhouse on the board. Bradford against White. Oh, in the corner. Confidently taken. White thinking just.
Yeah, I've always said you aim small, you miss small. Once you get it into that corner, it's always going to be difficult for goalkeepers to get to it. That was well placed, and that's what Bings wanted to do.
White has to be careful though. On that occasion, he was off his line.
And I think when he did stop the penalty against Tivoli, some would have suggested that he might just have off the line, not spotted. But you expect the officials here to be keen on that, because that gives the goalkeeper, they would say, an advantage.
Well, let's hope that the assistant referee can actually see it. So, support Jamoy Topi from 12 yards. He scored already in this final. But this is probably more important. Topi against Nash. Scores! Nash went the right way.
And I think
probably got a hand on it as well.
He did, you could hear the sound. But it was always, again, way in the corner, going away from him. Yeah, difficult, needed a stronger hand. That's where you want to place your penalties. Just a foot away from the upright. You get the feeling you're going to get another miss here. Not necessarily with this kick, I would say, but...
Oh, Siobhan Stewart, he doesn't miss. I can't remember him missing from 12 yards. And well, let's see. There's a first time for everything. Stewart against J.D. White. Stewart scores.
Donald. That was a good penalty. High up, out of the reach. Always difficult as well. Yeah, never get in there, White. Never get in there. Good thing with White, though, he's guessing the right way.
Yeah, he is. 2-2, but Waterhouse has kicked one more.
So pressure on Doxley.
The St. Lucian stepping up. Had a really good game today as well. Melvin Doxley.
And the ones who miss are always the players who have a good game.
Let's see what happens here. Doxley against Nash. Here it comes. Doxley steps up to shoot, scores. Cavalier maintained the advantage in the shootout.
Yeah, there was a lot of power in that, and the height as well. Coach Pete loves that one. He giving no chance to goalkeeper Nash. Yeah, by the time he reacted, it was through his hands. Remember a famous player from Brazil, Romario, who says that's how penalties ought to be taken. Put everything you have behind it.
Leslie for Waterhouse. Against J.D. White. Critical for him to score. And he does. To the left of White, who guessed correctly again.
Yeah, guessed correctly again. But again, That's a well-taken penalty from Leslie. Yeah, pace and going away.
Next kicker, Malanda Maxwell. Came on as a substitute very late on. Was dominating youth football in Manchester. Has come to Kingston now with Cavalier. Pivotal kick in this penalty shootout. Nash is just making him wait for a bit longer. On the line, says referee nation. Maxwell against Nash. Nash scores. That's a good penalty from the youngster.
Pressure right back on Waterhouse now. They must score.
Well, this was a good penalty.
Yeah, it was. It was. It certainly was. And again, Nash gets in the right way. There's no getting to that one. This is the moment for Waterhouse.
Ricardo Morris, who didn't have a particularly good game when he came on. His passing was off. He has one job. He has to score, Ricardo Thomas.
You need to pass this one into the back of the net. Doesn't look confident.
Thomas scores. Doesn't matter how you looked.
No, not at all.
Now to win it the right way. As we take a look at the kick from Ricardo Thomas. So the final kick, and Giovanni Leng. Can he win the title for Cavalier from 12 yards?
If Ben's penalty in regular time was pressure, this is double, triple, or pressure to the square.
Leng against Nash from 12 yards with history on the line. Save made by Nash,
and that's a big save, a very, very big save with the upper hand there. Only that one looked like it was destined for the back of the net.
Was he on the line?
He was, and that's a big save. And he has repaid Waterhouse, you feel, for that error he made, for that goal for Cavalier to open the scoring. And we're down to sudden death. Waterhouse won't go away, Donald.
They will not go away.
We can't stay here forever.
We may, you know. We may. Unpack the suitcases. We're going into sudden death penalties. Everything on the line now. Kimani Campbell. Saved by J.D. White.
Well, anything Nash can do, White says he can do it better. There was a lack of confidence in that kick, and certainly nowhere far enough away from the goalkeeper. Perfect height for White, and for a goalkeeper that has guessed right all in this penalty shootout, that was always going to be easy for White.
One more time. Can you call this championship point number 2 for Cavalier? Jamar Purcell to spot this one. Again, history on the line. Purcell, what can he do from 12 yards to win this for Cavalier? Purcell scores for Cavalier! And out of the darkness, here at the center of excellence, Cavalier has achieved it. For the first time in a generation, they are your Premier League champions in the island of Jamaica.
It's 40 years in the wilderness, and they've said even a child shall lead you. And these young boys have led it to the top of the table. Cavaliers, they are your champions.
clubs try to get more youngsters in the program. We'll get back to that discussion as we take a look at what took place in this game. And the Waterhouse, they had a few chances, and so too did Cavalier, who really bossed the possession in the first half. And then the corner kick inside to Jamoy Topi, rising highest. Nash should have done better there, Dwight.
Most definitely, and you expect him to get something onto that. You expect him to get a palm onto it or go over. Totally missed it, and that goal was on him. And Topi, from 3 yards or less, couldn't miss.
And then the incident that quite possibly changed the game. Finlayson going into the referee's book initially for the challenge, and then he said something to the referee, and then after the yellow card would have received a straight red.
Yeah, Nation not hesitating to go to the back pocket there and brandish the red card, and Finlayson, for a player with the experience and the leader, very, very disappointing and not acceptable.
Ball played to Shanil Thomas, who really should have hit the target there.
Yeah, that's the chance I was talking about that he would have gotten, and certainly should have hit the target.
Irving sending this one long, headed away. Webster was trying to get there, and it was pretty much cleared off the line. Waterhouse really defending their lines there.
Yeah, they had to. They were down to 10 players and they were desperate. And then the penalty.
Well, before the penalty, that shot on target, Jaden White had to pull off a fantastic save. Then he had to tip that one over the bar. And he was really into the thick of things here. And then the penalty coming off the arm of Kamoy Simpson. Referee pointing to the spot.
And this was a big pressure moment for Binns, and coolly rolling it and sending Jaden White the wrong way.
Yep. That was the last kick of the game, you know. You just take a look at Ramon Howell, who couldn't look on at the action, had to be looking away. It was so tight, right on the line. And the equalizer in stoppage time. As I said, the last kick of the game. They went through extra time without any goals. Then Binns couldn't repeat what he did in the 90.
Yeah, he went to the right of White, but not far away enough.
Then Cavalier had the advantage for the majority of the penalty shootout. Right up until they didn't. Len could have won it for Cavalier, and he was denied by Zimoy Nash.
That was a big save from Nash, but then White came up trumps and denied Kimani Campbell.
Yep. And so it was down to Jamar Purcell to win it for Cavalier. And he did. That was a convincing kick.
Very convincing. That hit the roof of the net. And that was always impossible to save, you feel.
So, as we take a look at the statistics in this one, Waterhouse with 12 shots, 4 on target. Cavalier with 7 shots, 3 on target. And, wow, 33 fouls were committed in this one. 11 yellow cards were shown. Just 1 red card to Nikolai Finlayson of Waterhouse. 10 corners to Waterhouse, 3 more than Cavalier, who had 49% of the possession. We'll go now downstairs to George Davis with the presentation.
Thank you, Donald. So we are here for the presentation, sir.
Then you want to go off and celebrate with the rest of your teammates. But just take me through that final stage with that penalty where you thought you have won it. You've missed, your teammate missed one. That final penalty, take me through it.
Well, we've been practicing penalties ever since we qualified for the playoff. And unfortunately, Leng is a person who we least expected to miss. So seeing him miss, we know that it's nerves that kick in, and then we say, we have to do it. But I'm halfway. I cry, but I don't tell coach before the penalty starts. Coach, I 2 Marvin. 2 Marvin. I get the 2, probably could I get more. I'm grateful for you too, because the 2 make a winning game.
Well, you kept your team in it for long periods of it. Well done. You can go off and celebrate with your team. It won't keep you much longer. But a job well done.
Thank you very much.
Yes. So Jaden White there, he really had an outstanding performance today. Really big performance from him. And in regular time too, you felt if it were not for him, Waterhouse with 10 players would have gone on to win this one. Coach Gale, disappointment again. 3 years a charm, they say, not a charm for you today. What about the effort from your team, having gone down to 10 players?
I mean, whoa, we're just going to express how overwhelming, even though I'm on the wrong side of the scope, But I mean, congrats to Cavaliers. I mean, well tried Waterhouse. I thought we after the 10 I think we get ourselves back together. You know what I mean? We make a few changes in terms of tactical move. And I think it paid off for us. But unfortunately, in the final, with the penalties, I lottery. So I mean, any team could have won. But I think I'm the winner today. Except unfortunately, you do enough to get it go all the way.
Well, Coach, sorry about that, but just a little quick thing on the red card. Put into context how that really, your thoughts on it.
It's rather difficult now to speak on it. I'm not really sure what happened, what took place. So I'd have to go and ask the player and watch my tape and see what happened.
Well, tough luck this time, Coach. All the best next time.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much.
Coach Gale there just can't get his Waterhouse team over the line. Really a very good show his team put on and contributed to it today. I heard you, Coach, saying that you love to play Waterhouse. You didn't explain why then, because you didn't want to give anything away. I'm not going to let you get away with it. Tell me, why is it that you love to play this Waterhouse team?
No, it's because their style and our style it complements our style, our players. You notice we had a lot of possession in the first half because I knew they were going to stay in their half and try to get me to make a mistake. So we were composed and knew what we had to do. And we know that we can play through their lines too because of the type of players they have.
Vindication for you for persisting over the years with these young players. Speak to me about the maturity they have shown since going almost 450 odd minutes without conceding a goal. You've been known for your attacking play, but you showed a different resolve. Your maturity too as a coach. Talk to me about that.
Oh, well, first I must say this win was for all the young players in the Premier League because for a long time young players wasn't allowed to play in this league. Or maybe a team would have one or two. So I persisted with it, got come third couple times. I figure people say, okay, good, you did well, but they didn't believe that the youths could win. So, but what I noticed with this particular team is that they could do a lot of different things. They could play attacking, they could play defensive, they could defend if they wanted to. And from I saw that, I realized that we had a very good chance to win. So what we did, as the goalkeeper was saying, once we hit the playoff, we said, you know something, it might go down to penalty kicks. And we'll make sure so we master penalty.
Well, congrats, Coach. I, too, as a coach, love these young players, and my teams are like that, too. Congrats. Go off and celebrate with your team.
Thank you very much.
A job well done.
Thank you.